The Secrets of the Rabbit Hole Media Network is excited to announce that Lisa Simpson, the mother of Richard Risher, has agreed to come aboard and join our network with a show of her own. It's been 5 years since LAPD murdered Lisa's son, Richard. We are honored to provide a platform for Lisa to speak her truth and talk about her experiences while fighting for justice for her son and others unjustly killed by law enforcement. We look forward to sharing Lisa's opinions and perspective on the fight for justice and all things taking place within the impacted community.
Real with y'all, because my mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers behind me, they woke. That's right. Black Lives Matter. You gonna stop making money off the death of our children. Yeah. And guess what? You don't give us a damn dime. You don't give us 50 cents, but you out here saying Black Lives Matter. I'm here to tell you LGBTQRSTUSV. That's what the fuck matter with your organization. It ain't our families. But y'all use the death of our loved ones to throw in your stew pot to make your soup taste good. Yep. Well, I'm telling you right now, your soup finna be hella nasty. Cause I'm finna get with all my mothers, my fathers, my brothers and sisters of all denominations. And we coming for you motherfuckers cause we need our just due. See, when our children got assassinated, see, this ain't no police brutality. Let's tell the truth about what this shit really is. Police terrorism murder. Brutality is if they kick my ass today, I can call you tomorrow and say the police kicked my ass. That's brutality. But they are silencing our loved ones. And the people that say they out here fighting for us is getting paid. Paid off our goddamn pay. Paid. It's sad that we are losing our children and these activist movement networks and orgs is gaining revenue. I'm a parent that was robbed by Black Lives Matter when my son got killed. They had me do an interview with the Green Party president candidate Jill Stein. Oh, they asked me all kinds of questions. Oh, we came here to stand in solidarity with your sister. Soon as I buried my son, I didn't see Black Lives or Matter around this motherfucker. Where they at? Where you at?
Good evening, family, friends, and foes. Welcome to That Part with Lisa Simpson. Tonight's subject gonna be on sellouts in within the impacted families. It's a lot of sellouts in the impacted families that's sneaky and they real quiet, and you will never know that they selling us out until big entities start calling out names. So tonight, I'm gonna be calling out some names. I'm gonna throw names back out there that was already thrown in the first place that said that they was selling us out and didn't think the people was gonna know that they was selling us out. It's sad that we gotta fight against the police, these movement networks and orgs, and the impacted families just to get some type of justice. You know, it's bigger than the money to me, but it's a lot of these mothers and fathers that's in this fight that they loving the money and they don't care about the bigger picture. So I'm gonna talk to y'all about these characters that's accepting these large donations, that's selling us out to these entities that don't mean our fight no good. First, we're gonna talk about Patrisse Cullors of Black Lives Matter. She did a part 2 a week ago on the BBNC show, calling out names who she's helping in this justice fight. She said she had a meeting with Mike Brown and his wife, Dee. Cal D, they flew down to Los Angeles and it was an amazing meeting. But y'all would never imagine who facilitated the meeting. Cephas Johnson and Beatrice Johnson from Love Not Blood campaign. And these is this lady words and not mine. She been working with this organization for the last 12 years before Black Lives Matter was even originated. Not only has she been working with Love Not Blood campaign for the last 12 years, she's also been donating to all the events that they have. She also just said that she donated $5 million for a 5-year contract with Love Not Blood campaign because they got 300 families. That part. Well, I'm trying to find out who the 300 families is, so I ain't got to deal with them at all. That part. Because if you'll sell your soul just to get some monetary benefits, I don't want to deal with you because it's bigger than the money. That part. You also heard the lady speak. She said that she was helping, I believe it's APRP or APTP. That's another organization up north that this organization is paying. But are they boots really on the ground? Are these sellout boots really on the ground? Mike Brown started the suit against Black Lives Matter for $20 million, but all it took was a meeting that Love Not Blood campaign put together, and now he's quiet as a church mouse. That part. I want to know, was the money that good to sell out the whole the whole justice fight? Because if you letting this organization give you monetary benefits to stay, then you giving them the okay to keep robbing the rest of us families that's in this justice fight. See, I started this calling out with another mother in this fight, that part, and we called out Tamika Mallory, the Benjamin Crumps, the Sean Kings, the Patrice Cullors, the Melina Abdullahs, but at the end of the trail, that part, the mother of Richard Risher was fighting these entities by herself because it's bigger than the money. But the mother that was my co-pilot, my pilot, and us calling out these people, for some reason, she ain't part of the team no more. Her name is Samaria Rice. She got a large donation that was anonymous. She didn't know where it was coming from, so she took that. And when she took that, she took all the things that she said about these people off her Facebook page, that part. So, you know, it's a lot of sellouts that's in this fight, bro, that you don't even know, that they get on the on social sites and they'll show you that they with the people that's getting the bread because they do commercials for them. You know, that part. I call that a form of bribery when you're doing a commercial, that part, for people that's not doing right by this fight. These sellouts have not only sold us out to these entities, but they have sold us out to the system. And this is the reason why we can't get justice. And them three that I mentioned, they not the only ones, that part. You just gotta pay attention in your city and state to see the ones that be shucking and jiving. Them the ones that's getting monetary benefits to sell us out as a whole. I'm coming to y'all to let y'all know that this ain't cool on no level. How do you be a parent that lost your child the same way that we lost our children and loved ones, and you be the one that sell us out for some chicken change? How does that work? So it's okay because Black Lives Matter gave these three people some money. It's okay if they destroy every other family in this fight because these three recipients reciprocated funds and then they gave them out to their people. You feel me? Andrew Harding, they family. They even also got some money just recently from Black Lives Matter. You know, they giving all their friends, they partners, the people that they teaming up with money, but the people that they actually owe, that they have did wrong in this fight, they not even trying to talk to them. So these sellouts, they in our fight, trust and believe that part. They right here, they'll sit up under you, they'll smile and grin in your face. They even come and stand in solidarity with you, that part. Just so they can gain to see what type of attributes you bring into this fight, what type of individual you is. Can you be spent? Can you be sold? Can you be bought? That part. You better know that anything that can be bought can be sold. And a lot of these mothers and fathers that's in this justice fight silently have been bought and sold. So it's a lot of things that they can and can't do. And all you got to do is just, put your testers out there. Put certain testers out there when these mothers and fathers come into your life, that part, and tell you that they have positions. Them type of people you stand down away from because they've already sold they sold. They sold that part. And you can't sell my soul, not on my dead son. If I sell out, I got to get the hell out. But a lot of these families, they'll sell out. Cephas and Beatrice say they got 300 families, y'all. I'm still trying to figure out who the 300 families is so I can stand down from all 300. Because if y'all think that it's cool to sell us out and we dying every day, I'm going to need y'all to get out this fight too, that part. You selling us out, go somewhere else. Sell us out and sell up out this fight, bro. Because it's ridiculous, it's sad, you feel me? We can't get no justice with the sellouts on our team. They'll sell you out and then talk bad about you after they sold you out, that part. And that's the crazy, that's what make you know, like, who the sellouts is when they start trying to defamate your character, that part. Talk about you any kind of way for no reason, that part. Those are the sellouts, because now they gotta try to be combative towards you when you don't even know why they combative towards you, but it's because they sold us out, that part. So Mike Brown sold us out, Cephas and Beatrice sold us out, Samaria Rice sold us out, Andrew Harden and Deanna Harden sold us out, because these are the people that reciprocated benefits from this entity to say it's okay for them to stay in this justice fight and continue to reciprocate benefits. Don't do nothing for the communities, that part.
Real. It's going to get real hot for people who have been playing these little backdoor games and shit. It's going to get real hot for them. And they
like I'm saying,
shit
David,
going to dry up.
So Dave, if Black Lives Matter would have donated $5 million to the Willie McCoy Foundation, I'm quite certain we would have announced it to the world, and with all our plans of how we were going to try to change things.
Good looking out. However, they didn't reach out to us for a nickel or a dime. And for every little thing that's been done, we did it on our own.
But my point is, if they donate $5 million to you and you don't announce it to anyone, what are you really doing with the money then? Because you don't want anybody to know about it.
Nobody wants to talk about the money. And especially in Lisa's case, that really perturbed me. Richard was in the wall already and they was collecting funds. This is a dirty business, man. To them people, some people look at this as a business. To me, this justice is not a business. Justice is a calling. You gotta really be in this. It's bigger
but you
than
know
what?
It is a business. They capitalize. Just like it's a business incarcerating people. It's all a business.
There you go. Put the cigarette out.
In that aspect, I can see that too. It is a business because we need money to get around. See that too. We need money to fight this fight.
Let me ask you a question.
We need money to fight this fight. But the point I'm making is that you have entities such as the Black Lives Matter movement, and even certain family members who are like Lisa spoke on this to me about families that are being swooned away on jet planes and shit and being placed above other families of people being murdered.
So let me ask you a question, cousin. How much money has been generated from the deaths, let's just say, of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery? How much money has been generated from those 3 deaths?
Man, millions.
Probably in the billions.
Maybe. You know what? And I wouldn't doubt that. Could be billions.
And so
I don't know. If somebody can raise $90 million in a year, and that's 1 year, what did they do the prior years when it was really great, when it was really, the thing to do?
So to what Beatrice just said, it's a business, and all of the culprits that are profiting from this business, the civil rights attorneys, that they need the police to keep killing and murdering for them to stay in business. It's a business. It's all a business.
It's a 360. It's a wicked machine that they got going on. I mean, yeah. I mean, even incarceration. I mean, all of this is a setup for oppression, murder. Because what we've been witnessing lately have been murders. Even after, I mean, if we go even, man, listen, why haven't we addressed what happened to Richard Risher? Why haven't we addressed what happened to Willie McCoy? These things happened a while ago. Nobody's in jail. Nobody's been convicted of any crime. We haven't had a day in court, and people are going now saying, oh, well, George Floyd got justice. What the fuck is that saying? What about your other people? They haven't got justice, and this just happened to this person, and he's getting justice. What are you serving us? What do you want us to? What do you expect us to believe? Do you expect that we don't see what's happening right before our eyes?
And cousin, it's you and Lisa. We talked about it earlier this morning. When you have certain impacted families, i.e. the daughter of George Floyd, being treated in such a way where the red carpet has been rolled out for her. She's flying from here to there on the presidential airplane. What message are you sending to Lisa, to you, to me? My little brother was murdered on tape.
His wasn't as important as this one.
Right.
His wasn't more important than that one. This one was more important than that one. Who are you to say that? Nobody can make nobody can make a type of decision like that for me with mine. And that's how we should feel about it.
And it's almost like they're also saying that what happened to George Floyd is the rare case, where the police officer really did murder a man. They're making it seem like the rest of these hundreds of thousands of millions of fucking police murders were all justified. No.
Well, hey, man, they shot my baby cousin 55 times, sleep in his car with a suspected gun that nobody's ever seen on his lap. Was the reason why they decided that their lives was in danger after they caravanned around the car and made suggestions that they might yank him out the car or do whatever. But yeah.
Right.
And found out that they was badge bending.
Right. We've got those circumstances with Willie. Let's talk about the stories that were manipulated and told after Richard Risher was murdered, when you had different sets of stories coming out about what actually happened, where you had crime scene paraphernalia and crime scene setup shit that was manipulated and told in a way that was not factual. It's like, let's delve deep into these stories and talk about these things, because they're being swept away like they didn't happen. And then George Floyd, because it was broad daylight and the young lady was brave enough to take her camera out and start recording and posted it to everybody, they want to make it seem like that's just that 1% of the bad cops. When hell no, all these motherfuckers are murdering around here, man, all over the country.
Right.
They got gangs, man, now.
Initiations.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And then, you got to send your kids to school. You got to go to work and travel in between and come in contact with these type of individuals who kill with impunity. Because think about it. All of these people that have been killed, and listen, yeah, they got a conviction for Derek Chauvin, but guess what? They're going to turn that over, and you know what else is finna happen after they overturn that? Because right after they convicted him, they killed, they downed the 16-year-old girl. Come on.
Right.
They killed a whole bunch of people right after that.
Sister and cousin, we saw a lot of celebrating when people heard the results of the Chauvin trial. But I think what people are missing, and we know as impacted family members, that district attorneys do not prosecute police officers. It just doesn't happen. And in Minneapolis, the district attorney there was bumbling around and he was not going to prosecute Derek Chauvin. It was the governor of the state of Minnesota that told the attorney general of the state, this is too egregious. You are going to go in there and prosecute. So this wasn't a normal circumstance that people should be getting excited about. This wasn't a district attorney doing his or her job. This was the governor of the state interceding because what happened was too egregious. It took place in front of the entire world to see. And so what about the rest of these cases where the whole world wasn't watching, but it was still a police murder? Where is Governor Newsom calling on the attorney general to come into the city of Vallejo, to come into the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and do a civil rights investigation into these entities?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because they his friends. Newsom, Venezuela, Chief Beck, Chief Moore, the Los Angeles Police Department, Vallejo, all these people is friends. It's sad that they are cool with all these murders in California. See, a lot of people don't know what goes on in California because they too busy trying to get their laws adopted in our states when it's a whole different situation. We and really dying over here at a rapid rate and don't nobody know nothing about it because it's Hollywood in California. You feel me?
And it's important for people to know that California is a state, the state, where police kill more people in the state of California than in any other state in our country. So let's make that clear.
That part. And we dying at a rapid rate out here, and everybody is turning their eyes to a blindfold on California. They'll go uplift everybody else. Just look at it. All the activists, the so-called movements, the networks and orgs of California, where they at? They in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They ain't stood up for nobody in California though. So it's like, to me, it's like it's a game to these people. You feel me? And what we doing, us parents and loved ones that's in this impacted fight, we the ones that actually have our boots on the ground because we trying to stop what happened to us to happen to these people.
Donations to somebody that's gonna really do something with it.
Well, if you want to leave donations for the mother of Richard Risher, Lisa Simpson, you can get at me at $ Lisa Lee 693. That's on my Cash App. I'm working on my web page right now because I had some technical difficulties to where you'll be able to PayPal me as well. So just give me a couple of weeks and I'm gonna have my PayPal up and running. But you can get at me on Cash App at $ Lisa Lee, LISALEE 693.
It's, you know what, that's sad, man. I mean, like even Lil Willie, all of the people that knew Lil Willie, like that had platforms, a lot of people didn't even, you know, pass the word on. And it's crazy because the things that they've done, and there's so many that I've seen, not outside of Willie. I mean, I'm just saying Willie because it was a police gang that did it, you know. This stuff ain't bad policing. This is our crooked, it's corruption. It's corruption all the way to the core corrupt. Like, just like that lady, Cole, you remember at the picnic, she asked me, she said, oh, I'm gonna pray for y'all. I said, we finna pray for you. Right. You gotta go for your first day to work. You're gonna walk up inside that city council meeting and you're gonna look and see where it's so filthy in there with corruption, you ain't gonna know where to start cleaning. And this lady was talking about lighting a fire under somebody's boots. Who the fuck you gonna light a fire under the boots?
Lisa, you know, Dave and I speak a lot about the numbers coming out of the city of Vallejo. We mention quite often 19 police kills in the last 10 years. That is an astonishing figure for a city of just 120,000 people. But when you start looking down to your neck of the woods, Southern California, Los Angeles, share some of those numbers. They are astonishing when you look at some of the numbers coming out of Los Angeles County.
Well, in Los Angeles, in the last 8 years, we've had 637 civilians killed by law enforcement agencies, sheriffs and LAPD.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a
8 years.
large
That's
number.
a large amount of people just for a city, you feel me? And that nobody sees it as a problem though, you feel me? That's what I said. I was like, wow, 637 bodies in the last 8 years. And in Los Angeles, they haven't convicted an officer in over 16 years in Los Angeles County.
Wow.
Seems like
and
Vallejo,
you know,
the
sis,
most of their kills is the police killing people, not people killing people. It's the police that's killing people would make their murder rate for the city for that year go higher. It'd be mostly police murders.
And you've kind of got this this game of musical chairs with these district attorneys going from one city to the next to not do the job that they're supposed to be doing when it comes to prosecuting officers that commit murder. The former San Francisco district attorney I guess is now down in LA, sis?
Yeah, you talking about Mike Gascon. You
Yes.
know Black Lives Matter, they sponsored him. You feel me? They had all the families go down there and vote this guy in. And to me, I felt like it was a slap in the face to Mario Wood's mother in San Francisco because they killed her son and this guy was right there and did nothing about it. Then the little Latino young man that was not a legal citizen according to this corporation, he was at work and they came to his job. He didn't know if they was looking for him or not, but he jumped in a trunk of a car and he was hiding. And he thought they was gone, so he went to open up the trunk to see if they was gone. They shot 99 shots up in the trunk of this car on this 19-year-old baby. And Gascon did nothing. And that's what the problem is. Like, a lot of people don't understand the fight. If the DA don't pick up these cases, we don't got no case. You feel me? A lot of cases in California, the DAs refuse to prosecute these officers because these are—
You know what bothers me, man? Even with Krishna Abrams, her recusing herself from prosecuting police officers and murders, right? It blew my mind because a person can recuse herself in a position like that and not be transparent and give the reason why she's had a conflict of interest where she can't do her job. You're being paid to do a job by the people, and you took an oath. So you should uphold the oath that you took, and you should make these prosecutions. And if you can't, you should give the people a reason why you're not doing it and be transparent about it. So we can make a choice of whether or not that your services will still be required.
Right.
Well, you know, I think Krishna, she actually did give a reason, cousin. It was that the public at large had lost faith in her ability to be transparent when it comes to judging whether a police officer committed a crime or not. And one of the reasons why she's unable to be transparent is because she herself, as we previously mentioned on our podcast, is married. She is married to a Solano County sheriff. So how does that play, Lisa, when you have a district attorney from Solano County who's married to a sheriff from the same
Solano County? So guess what that means? It's called favors, bro. It's favors. She's not gonna do anything to any officer because she gets favors, bro. She gets trinkets, she gets trips, all of them do. So that the monetary benefits, the trinkets and all the shit that they get is more important than the death of our children. Because if it wasn't, they would be like, nah, I don't want that pearl necklace. Hey, you just killed the kid. Look, you're gonna have to bite the bullet for what you did, but it's not like that. It's like, and it's in every state, the families, the impacted families don't tell the masses of the people that if the DA don't pick up your case, you don't have a case. You feel me? In California, you think Newsom is really gonna go to these DAs and say, I think you need to prosecute these officers? He's not. He's part of the problem, period. So we up against a hell of a fight on the West Coast. And nobody don't think that over here, you know, I got feelings for all these people that's dying because it's sad. It's happening globally. But over here, we getting the short end of the stick. You feel me? We don't get no good laws passed here, no good bills. Everything in California is for the system and not for the people. And it's tough. You feel me? You got to fight a lot.
Well, yeah, well, in your situation, you got a lot of receipts in this fight dealing with people, and that's a big problem. People collecting donations in the name of this fight, and it's not getting to the people that really want to fight, and that's a problem. So won't you give them a plug, sis, and let people know where they can leave donations to somebody that's gonna really do something with it.
Well, if you want to leave donations for the mother of Richard Risher, Lisa Simpson, you can get at me at $ Lisa Lee 693. That's on my Cash App. I'm working on my web page right now because I had some technical difficulties to where you'll be able to PayPal me as well. So just give me a couple of weeks and I'm gonna have my PayPal up and running. But you can get at me on Cash App at $ Lisa Lee, LISALEE 693.
In particular, Senator Dodd, we had an opportunity to meet with him. He shed a lot of crocodile tears, and shortly after, we spotted him doing a photo shoot with the Solano County District Attorney and her husband. So, you know, the disingenuous nature of these political figures, it's not shocking, but it still disappoints, cousin, because that's not what they're here to do.
Yeah, you got to know who the pieces of shit are so you can step over them when you get a chance to. You don't want to step on them because nasty up your shoe. That's all I'm gonna say. Some of these people that came in and said, and probably could have turned some screws and got some justice in motion or something, but they laid back, and I guess they laid back and did nothing. They turned a blind eye and a deaf ear is what they did.
Yeah, for a paycheck. They go to work to get paid. They ain't trying to go to work to make changes. I just don't understand these. They're
going to make change, not change.
Well, do you guys believe that Gavin Newsom is aware that he governs a state where police officers shoot and kill more people than in any other state in this country? Does he know this?
Oh yeah, he gotta know it because George Soros is his uncle. So he knows what's going on in this country, bro. Look, I mean, you gotta really just check out who Newsom is, bro. Like, it's some funny stuff going on right now, and everybody gonna see that shit, bro. Gascon ain't gonna be the DA of Los Angeles no more. He's gonna be the Inspector General. Mark my word, because they doing a lot of shifting. You already know that Garcetti supposed to be a part of Biden cabinet. So they got to shift these motherfuckers out to shift other people in. But watch how the shifting go. And then you're going to be like, damn, this shit weird, bro. So y'all study taking these bad seeds that's in law enforcement and shifting them to higher positions to where they can keep hiring all these badass cops, bro. I don't understand why we got cops in our neighborhood anyway, because they not doing no community policing. They killing us in our communities, bro. They killing us in our communities with no effort, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's sad when you could die with no effort. Like, they go out on a beat, they leave the office to go out and kill, bro. And a lot of them is gang initiations. How many bodies you can get under your badge? You feel
so,
me?
sis, I have a question for you. Obviously, this is the show, that part. So I want to ask you, what part is this that I'm getting ready to put out here right now? The Vallejo police chief, current Vallejo, California police chief, Shawnee Williams, has an epidemic of police brutality and murder in his city. Yet, he hasn't reached out to impacted families, But I noticed after the Chauvin verdict came out, he was quick to put a statement out to George Floyd's family, telling them that he hopes that the Chauvin verdict can start a healing process and whatnot. And it makes me shake my head, sis, what part of this movement and what part of this society with these police officers and these police chiefs and these district attorneys, where they can sit up and acknowledge a police murder in a whole nother state, but yet they can't speak on the police murders in their own cities? What part is that?
I can tell you what part that is. It's because, see, they know that they jig is almost up. So now when you're getting close to being caught, now you want to be so sorry and so apologetic. And
right.
You got a heart now, and you could being compassionated for these people that got killed by the same entity that you run, that you won't convict nobody for. So when it started getting closer, you about to get caught up. See, y'all brought out the fatal 14. So that shit is gonna bring out a whole bunch of can of worms, because you are the chief of that police department, and there's no way you can't tell nobody that you don't know what's going on. But you
all knew.
So now you like, oh, let me get on TV, or let me put this post out and say that my condolences to this family, so I can make the world think that you finna clean up what's going on in your area. But you've been having this shit going on for so long in Solano County. I don't see you clearing up shit. You just trying to clear your name. That's why you put out that apology letter.
Right. You know, it's eerily similar to the way the former San Jose police chief in San Jose, California, all the shit show of policing that goes on down in that city, he retired a year ago, and then just a few months ago takes the police chief job in Dallas, Texas. So he goes to a whole nother new state to start a whole new fuck shit.
See, what it is what a lot of people don't know. Chief Beck, Charlie Beck from Los Angeles, California, he the one started this policing, community policing. And he already got like 15 states to adopt his community policing theory. But y'all adopting this theory and killing us as police officers, but y'all say y'all in the community, but y'all destroying the community. See, they thought that when they gentrified our communities, that would get us out the communities. That didn't work. You know, the family started making black families be more at close net. Okay, we all got to get a job to pay this rent because they want $2,700. We know this place ain't worth nothing but $1,000. So when they started gentrifying, it was still black people living in these areas that they was trying to gentrify. So now we can't get these motherfuckers out by raising the rent. Let's start killing them in these areas, and then they'll move.
Down. Yeah, I see that. That's the gentrification program that's been going on, that's been instituted. And like I said, just kidnapping babies from the street, and I mean, it's enslavement. You mentioned it, cuz taking the red pill and the blue pill, the matrix effect. You know what I mean? Some people want to stay connected because they can't deal with reality. The reality is like what we all know, they murdering us for no apparent reason, for just being black, driving while black, riding
cousin,
while black, sleeping while black.
And you talk about that matrix and going down that rabbit hole, as when you're an impacted family that is steadfast in confronting the system to try to get to the truth and of what actually happened to your loved one, it is easy to get in a certain kind of state of mind, because what the things that you see will blow your mind. And you know, I know for us, we've always felt obligated to share these things, you know, with as many people that were willing to listen. But the deeper you go down this rabbit hole of confronting the system and these rogue police officers that are protected by these city governments and hire, it can definitely put some people in the frame of mind, cousin, as you said, where they're like, man, plug me back in. I don't want to know the truth.
Well, in most of these shootings that's been happening with police murders, they've been trying to divide families that from the numerous times that they've done this. They've been trying to teach each one as an isolated incident rather than the pandemic that we're witnessing right now. You know, right after the conviction of Derek Chauvin, we have 7 murders of black people, young black people in different parts of the country. You know, right after that. So they've accelerated in the program. Now they're going faster. We're doing this thing faster.
So cousin and Lisa, let me just piggyback on what you're speaking on, cousin. You're talking about how the problematic policing in this country is not going anywhere. It actually seems to be getting worse on a daily basis.
It's an accelerated program.
What Lisa opened up the show speaking on, talking about impacted family members and organizations that are selling out. How do we deal with, this is to both of you, sis, how do we deal with what David is talking about, this snowball effect of police misconduct spiraling out of control, but at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, we're asking for accountability from the powers that be, from law enforcement, but yet within our own impacted community, where is the level of accountability to each other as far as doing what's right for the greater good of the movement, as opposed to just doing right by yourself?
Well, my motto is what's good for me might not be good for the community, but what's good for the community is good for all of us. But these individuals are isolated individuals, and it's only what's good for them. They don't care about the community or the people. So it's kind of sad that they came into this fight and that was their mentality. Oh, it's about me and mine, and everybody else don't even count. But you using everybody else that have lost their loved one in these streets to reciprocate these benefits, and y'all not a charity, but you getting a lot of charity cases though. You getting a lot of charity money that's coming from people that thinking that y'all this entity that's doing the right thing.
And so the people know, sis, so the people know that this is not your opinion. We're speaking about Patrisse Cullors, the president of Black Lives Matter Global Network. We all sat and watched her interview where she made these statements.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. I didn't like the things that she said about how she got donations and she did that for her family and for her brother and for her my. What about for the people? What did you collect for the people for that was impacted, that all of this stuff is behind all of these young people who lost their lives and their family that's left behind, that's stuck with this police terrorism because they terrorize all of these families after a while for fighting, for justice or a form of justice, some accountability, because that's all we're gonna get is accountability, because justice will be getting the loved one back.
Right.
So do you guys think that there's a disconnect with how the public interprets what they are donating to? Because we sat here and watched the Patrisse Cullors interview, and she was very adamant that they are not a charity organization, that they are a business entity. I guess my question is if you are a business entity and you are not a charitable organization, but yet you are collecting funds and accepting donations on the names of people that were murdered by police officers,
on behalf of impacted families,
and you're taking this money with the understanding that you're trying to change the way Black and brown people are policed in this country. But then, like you just said, cousin, you're turning around and you're buying homes for your family. When that
Your
wasn't
family,
what
personal
you were,
family.
when that wasn't what you were initially telling the public you were accepting these donations for.
Exactly.
Can I tell you what? Can I just add this? That is the equivalent of a person going to your loved one's funeral, and when they're walking through the procession and they're viewing the body, he comes up to the casket and takes the ring and the watch off of a dead person's hand. That's the equivalent of that. They vultures circling around families that are trying to fight this fight and get justice, and they can care less about justice. It's all about how much money that they can make off of using the deaths of your loved one. It's sad. It's sick to me, actually. That's a sick thought. You would do that, and it's babies. Like that little girl was 16 that got killed when the police.
They're gonna reciprocate off of that too. They're gonna reciprocate.
Yeah, they're gonna get paid off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
She'll have a hashtag by Monday.
Well, and it seems like the intention of a lot of people in this movement is to keep the waters murky. And what I mean by that is we sitting here having this discussion, we are impacted family members, and we advocate specifically about police brutalizing and murdering our people. That's what our fight is about.
Right.
So it seems when you have organizations and people that are accepting donations and they say that it's about police murdering our people, but yet when they try to explain it, they're speaking about a various array of different community things that they're being active about. I think that's what murkies up the waters. If you're gonna be on a platform about police reform and the way police are murdering and policing us and the change that has to come from that, then that is one platform. But when you're collecting money and then you're saying, well, I sponsored a girls' soccer team to take them to Argentina, that's nice, but that's not what this money and what this fight is meant for.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. That's where the problems came in at. They already had a hidden agenda, like as for Patrice Cullors with Black Lives Matter. She talk about Black Lives Matter a lot, but you don't hear her talking about dignity and power now. That's a whole nother attribute that she's the co-founder of that's making movement money too.
They funneling that money.
So Lisa, earlier you mentioned Uncle Bobby and Aunt B, who we all are familiar with in this movement. And I want to clarify something, that when you spoke on them earlier, you were literally repeating what we sat and watched Patrice Cullors say
on her second
interview.
Right.
So this was not Lisa Simpson saying that the Love and Not Blood campaign received $5 million for 5 years. This was Patrice Cullors, the president of Black Lives Matter Global Network, and she made that statement. And I, for one, witnessed her say it. I watched the interview that she gave. It was a part 2 of an interview, actually, that came out a couple days after the part 1. And so, I see things on social media where people have comments and things to say, but they often do not have all of the facts, and they're speaking from emotion, and they're going back and forth with impacted mothers and impacted families. And, it's a terrible thing to see when you don't have all the information, but yet you feel compelled to come out and take a strong stance about something that you may not know all the details about.
Yeah, that's how it was when I first seen the part 2 video. I felt the need to let the families know that Love Not Blood campaign is selling us out to Black Lives Matter. But instead of them doing their soul searching to see if what I was putting out was correct, politically correct, they went to social media and got to thrashing me because they had never seen part 2. Then once they seen part 2, I got Beatrice Johnson. She won't stay out my inbox, my messenger on my phone, trying to explain herself when there's no need to explain anything because the jig is up. Patrice Cullors says she been messing with y'all for 12 years. She been sponsoring Love Not Blood campaign for the last 12 years before they even became Black Lives Matter. Y'all been in partnership with each other. So y'all just as much as crooks as they are because y'all allowed them to give y'all this money. Y'all didn't tell none of the families. I'm the one brought it out that y'all got this money because y'all wasn't gonna never say nothing. If she wouldn't have never put this part 2 out and I was able to see it, Love Not Blood campaign wouldn't have said one word, but I'm trying to still figure out, like I said on that part, where are these 300 families that Love Not Blood campaign has? Because
And
at
sis,
first they was United for Justice. Now they love, when they get 5 million,
so
they
let
Love
me
Not Blood.
let me stop you right there for a second, sis. Let me stop you on your own show and just get this in really quickly. My cousin, who you see sitting there, David Harrison, and our brother P. Wallace, we came together to start the Secrets of the Rabbit Hole Media Network for impacted families to have a platform to speak their truth. Now, we have a relationship with Lisa Simpson, and as you all can see, she has her own platform on the Secrets of the Rabbit Hole Media Network. But what I would like to make official to any and everyone out there, if you have an issue with anything that's being said on any of our platforms, whether it be my cousins and I, Secrets of the Rabbit Hole podcast, whether it be that part with Lisa Simpson, you are welcome to come on our platform and have these discussions and state your case and give your side. We're not here to bash anyone. We're here to speak truth. And if us speaking truth is going to ruffle some feathers and make people feel a certain kind of way, that's one thing. But if you legitimately feel as though you want to have an intelligent conversation and come on the platform and talk about, well, hey, I heard my name mentioned and I would like to set the record straight, you are 100% welcome, any and everybody, as this is a network and a platform for impacted families to speak their truth. And I just felt a need to make that clear, sis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we mentioned a lot of people in there, so a lot of people gonna get the news that they've been busted out or whatever, however we want to label that. I mean, there's only a few ways that you can put it, but in this movement, we got a thing that we call separating the wheat from the tare. When we start doing things like that, we have to sometimes to get things done. You gotta go around some things. You gotta go over some things, and sometimes you gotta push through them. So, getting past people that's inside of the fight that like try to sensationalize one family and things like that, and fall into the traps of the enemy and keeps us that further away from justice. We got to get to justice before it's too late, because we don't get real justice and equal this thing out, because the whole thing is they murdering us now. This is not just taking land and making you do things that you didn't want to do. It started out that way. Now it ain't that they don't care about us no more. It's they don't like us. They hate us now. It's a whole different ball game.
It seems that word justice has become a very loose term as far as interpretation within the impacted community.
That, because it's just us. That's all. Ain't no justice. It's just us. And we
better pull together fast. We better pull together fast. We got to start getting back into multiplication and get away from that division. We've been divided for too long. It's time it's time for people to say we tired of this bullshit. We ain't finna do it no more. We finna do it our way. You know, where it benefits us and ours, and we get some shit back on track.
Well, you know I think,
I mean?
and cousin, that resonates because, you know, I think we all have to do some self-reflecting and take a step back and understand that when you are unwillingly forced into this club of impacted families that have lost someone to police violence and lawless policing, it is not by choice. And I think that there are a lot of people that come into this fight, forced into this fight because they lost a loved one. And at some point, they lose sight of what this is. This isn't a stage to pat each other on the back and give each other awards like the Emmys or the Golden Globes or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Have any of us truly gotten justice? You know,
nobody's got justice. No, not one family has got real justice.
You know,
hey, you know what? Lisa said that. I want to know what they a definition of what justice look like to them. Because what do justice look like to you? Or what do justice? Because I know what justice look like for me. I want them to feel the same motherfucking pain me and my family felt, and I want them to look. I want that same fucking look on their face, the look that we had to look at them son of a bitches when we had to look at them face to face and knowing that they murdered Willie. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they murdered brother Risher, like that bitch said on the thing. Hey, we're gonna try to put brother Richard to rest, and we need to donate this money.
Well, see, cousin, now you're touching on details that go unnoticed. They don't understand that we are impacted family members who have showed up at city council meetings only to be confronted by the very same officers that murdered our loved one.
Yeah.
Right. That's how they do it, though. You know what I'm saying? After they
These
kill
people
your
do not care. They hate you.
They go around. They want to. You go to certain places. They pull you over. They tell you they know who you is. They follow you. It's sad because they make you feel like it's your fault while your loved one is no longer here no more.
No, it's shut up. You have the right to remain silent. Shut the fuck up. That's what it's all about.
Up. We don't want you talking.
We don't want you talking about this no more.
And you know,
y'all bringing too much awareness to the people. Y'all
we got some people that'll tell your story for you.
That we don't want the world to know.
We got a next black group that'll tell the story for you.
And Lisa, you seem to have lately experienced some of what happens when you speak out and continue to stand up and fight for your lost loved one. Not only do they victim blame your son, in my case, my brother, after they're murdered, but then once you start fighting and speaking out, they try to start victim blaming you.
Yeah, they get to blaming you for the death of your loved one because you have a voice. See, they supposed to kill you and you supposed to sit down and shut your ass up. If they give you something, you should be happy with what they gave you and you go on with your life, but that's not real life though. When you taking children away from their families, come on now, you dying black sleep in the car, you dying black jogging, you dying black walking, you dying black running. You just dying black because you breathing. So it's like, goddamn, what else is it? What can we do in this fucked up country that'll guarantee us to see the next day without us being stereotyped because of the pigmentation and the color of our skin? That part.
Hey, you know what? I just want to know, like Lisa, like this overkill shit is happening everywhere, and it's like, how many times was Richard shot?
They shot Richard 35 times.
35 times.
They shot 70 shots. My baby took 35.
Okay, so in Willie's case, it was 55 shots. He took 38 shots. 13 were fatal.
Right.
So now we looking at how these officers are killing our kids viciously, like she said in the defense of life doctrine. And then we also got to look at that when people are doing these investigations, because see, they're not really investigating, because if they were, they would see a pattern. This pattern of overkill suggests hatred. Like I have, it's personal. So they have personal vendettas with average citizens of color. And that is why it's so easy for a black man to get pulled over for a traffic stop and be murdered by police. It's easy. I've seen videos where the officer actually tells the man, let me see your license. And when he reaches for his driver's license, he just like, well, why are you reaching, and shoot him. You see what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people who are watching these graphic videos right now of police murdering, and it's not clicking, it's not registering that they're actually, this is a campaign and it's going on. It's not a drill. This is actually happening now. People are being murdered. Your kids ain't safe going to the store. You can't hang out no more. You gotta, if you get pulled over, you better go to a lit area. And that might not save you because they're doing it on camera now.
That don't mean nothing if you go to a lit area. It don't matter where you go. They got the discretion if you live to see today or tomorrow. You don't know what they going through. They don't give a damn about what you going through. When they do these traffic stops, it's not even about what you going through as a civilian. Once they know that you black, already in their mentality is to kill your ass. Let's see how this person gonna talk to me. If they show too much aggression, they ain't living today. They ain't even gotta show too much aggression.
They're making the choice right there.
Because they black and they driving this BMW, and I don't like this black ass motherfucker.
I don't like the way he talking.
I'm gonna take their life. Yeah. Look at
he
the
didn't
boy
do what I told him to do.
Look at the boy they killed out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now she been on this job for 20-something years, right? So you got two officers that's already trying to apprehend this young man. You pushed them out the way. Why you pushed them out the way? Because they was black and you didn't feel like they was gonna handle him the way you felt like he was supposed to be handled. So you pushed them out the way, and then you mistake your gun for a taser. You've been on the job 20-something years, though. Imagine that.
So sis, can you give the people an idea of some of the topics that you're going to be talking about over the next several weeks?
Over the next several weeks, today I was talking about sellouts. My next topic gonna be in depth about the defensive life doctrine, about how we need to get that revised or knocked down so that we can live in this fucked up country as being black men and women. I have another show I want to do about bringing it in one time, where we can build a movement that's gonna be strictly for us to get justice and can stop these police kills globally, though, not just in California. I'm trying to get this shit to cease fire everywhere. I want to have a few of my mothers come on that part show. So, because there's mothers out there that a lot of these people have never heard about, never heard their stories. And they would just, it's overwhelming to know that it's so many parents out here that have lost their children in this tragic way by the police officer from all walks of creation of places, this state, and the world only know about the same 14 songs that they've been hearing for years, the same 14 names. I'm here to tell you, it's more than 14 names, that part. It's over 100,000 names, period. If you do all the states combined together, the way they killing us for the last 400 years, it's way over 100,000 names, you feel me? Way over. So it's like a lot of tactics that they use. Like, to me, I felt like when they convicted Chauvin, when they killed all them people, that was just to tell us, oh, y'all took one of ours, we're gonna take 5 to 6 of y'all's. And the same mentality that they got, we need to start having that same mentality. You feel me? Because they killing us and they saying they scared of us. They killing us, but they scared of us. That don't make sense. Because if I'm in fear of something, I'm not trying to come near it, come up on it, approach it, or none of that shit, bro. Y'all killing us because that's y'all job, to kill us. Straight out. There's too many of us out here, and y'all got to start doing some population control. And y'all don't want us here, but I'll tell everybody, if you take the color out of America, it ain't no America. Period.
We everywhere.
Yep.
But that's they diabolical plan, and like we know it. It's in all of these great books that we read and everything, and we can see it every day. We not blind people. We see what's happening, how they handling us. I mean, even the pullovers and the stops are different. When they pull white people over, it's usually a pleasant interaction between law enforcement and a citizen. But when it comes to people of color and melanated people, when they're pulled over, it's a total different ball game. Are you on parole or probation? Do you have any guns or narcotics in the car? Put your hands where I can see them. Don't move. Passenger, you have any ID? Why are you asking the passenger for any fucking thing? He's not driving. Is he suspected of a crime? What is your probable cause for pulling him over? Is his tail light out? Was he speeding? You see, they deal because it's all about, first they want to make contact with you. Because once they make contact with you, they can get up close with you and see who you are and gauge you. Because their thing is that they're the most ruthless criminals that you would ever want to come across. These are nasty individuals. Like we know about the Fatal 14 previous to that time in Oakland with the Oakland Riders. We seen that too. You know, then you had down in LA, you had Ramparts and you got Vikings and you got the 3%ers. It's a lot of stuff that we know about that the rest of the world is not privy to. I talked to a friend of mine who is kind of abreast of things that's going on with these cases dealing with impacted families. But when I exposed to him information about badge bending, it blew his fucking mind. He couldn't believe it. He told me, and I was surprised that he did not know, because this information has been around for a minute now. I mean, but that is the most appalling thing that you could imagine, because why isn't there a whole lot of outrage like Cuz is saying, and why hasn't there been some type of federal intervention that has immediately come down? That these are lawsuits that would be enormous or extravagant numbers in some type of lawsuit, because this is a total injustice. It's just a total injustice.
In California, it's total injustice, but you got to look at it. Our legislators and senators and people of interest get on the plane and go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, when we got a problem right here in California, that they get on the plane and say, fuck this problem. We trying to deal with somebody else's backyard when y'all backyard raggedy than a motherfucker. These people in California, these legislators, these assemblymen, they know what's going on out here, bro. But that money's so good, they can't speak on it because they whole mentality is, oh, I gotta take care of my kids. But even if you a senator, assemblyman, any type of person in Congress, if you have a black kid, they ass ain't safe. Period. Look at the man in the military. He thinking he in the military, he's serving this country, he's safe. They treated him like he was a straight fucking slave, bro.
We're gonna have to keep.
Like when you ain't even smart enough to know that you looking at yourself in the mirror every day. I don't give a damn what your job is. You black. When they finish with these motherfuckers on the streets, they coming in whatever entity that you work for, and they coming to get y'all too. Because they didn't say a certain class of black people in that statue. It said blacks.
Yeah, it don't matter. I get it. That's what I'm about to say. At the end of the day, you got guy uniform on, buddy. I wouldn't give a fuck what other uniform you got on. At the end of the day, when they strip the clothes off you, your uniform that God give you is black. Melanated, browns, any shade of black,
right?
Because they have a real hate campaign going out. Like I tripped off of the guy being shoved in Richland County,
right?
By the Marine or whatever the fuck he was, right?
White supremacist Marine
right.
that felt like if he served his country, He can tell any man what street they can and can't. But see, this is the thing though, bro. See, they do that shit to softball ass motherfuckers. See, he wouldn't have did that shit to a real nigga, because a real nigga would have slapped him and slapped the shit out of his bitch while she was standing out there like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you.
I had a real one too in the video. He was a weightlifter. I forget the dude's name, but he got big arm. He like big tookie. I was like, yeah, I wish he would go walk on that motherfucker block and have him come up and say, yeah, this our block. This, we stick together around here. He wasn't gonna say shit. Go get your punk ass back in the house.
Hey, and so on that note right there,
kick his drawers in his ass and make him run on the porch.
On that note, Lisa, we want to thank you, my cousin and I, for allowing us to be on the very first episode of That Part with Lisa Simpson.
Wow.
Hey, man, you know how we do it, bro. We rolls like that.
This was wild, sis. Part. I like that part. Hey, and if you like to donate, you can do that at the Secrets of the Rabbit Hole Media Network YouTube channel.
What? Yeah. That part.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to donate. Because if you can donate to Black Lives Matter, you can donate to impacted families. That's keeping it 1,000 with you. That part.
Dingle the bell. Share it. Tell your friends about it.
Mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers behind me, they woke. That's right. Black Lives Matter. You gonna stop making money off the death of our children. Yeah. And guess what? You don't give us a damn dime. You don't give us 50 cents, but you out here saying Black Lives Matter. I'm here to tell you LGBTQRSTUSV. That's what the fuck matter with your organization. It ain't our families. But y'all use the death of our loved ones to throw in your stew pot to make your soup taste good. Yep. Well, I'm telling you right now, your soup finna be hella nasty. Because I'm finna get with all my mothers, my fathers, my brothers and sisters of all denominations. And we coming for you motherfuckers because we need our just due. See, when our children got assassinated, see, this ain't no police brutality. Let's tell the truth about what this shit really is. Police terrorism, murder. Brutality is if they kick my ass today, I can call you tomorrow and say the police kicked my ass. That's brutality. But they are silencing our loved ones. And the people that say they out here fighting for us is getting paid. Paid off our goddamn pay. Paid. It's sad that we are losing our children and these activist movement networks and orgs is gaining revenue. I'm a parent that was robbed by Black Lives Matter when my son got killed. They had me do an interview with the Green Party president candidate Jill Stein. Oh, they asked me all kinds of questions. Oh, we came here to stand in solidarity with your sister. Soon as I buried my son, I didn't see Black Lives or Matter around this motherfucker. Where they at? We ain't. Father, can't you see? What the system done to me? What the system done to me? They lock us up and shoot us down. They lock us up and shoot us down. Especially when you're black and brown. Especially when you're black and brown. Father, can't you see? Father, can't you see? What the police done to me? What the police done to me? They lock us up and shoot us down. They lock us up and shoot us down. Especially when you're black and brown. Especially when you're black and brown. Father, can't you see? Father, can't you see? What the system done to me? What the system done to me? They locked us up and shoot us down. They locked us up and shoot us down. Especially when you're black and brown. 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 We gonna stop this over here on the West Coast.
The simple way to get behind this movement is by making a monetary donation with an assumption that the funds will be used to help and support families who are fighting a never-ending battle, entrenched in the status quo. While making a donation, we encourage you to give to a nonprofit organization, as there is built-in transparency and accountability. For-profit organizations have little to no accountability when it comes to accepting donations, and we thank you in advance. Thank you for tuning in to the Secrets of the Rabbit Hole Media Network.
Richard, I love you, baby Kate. I love you, son. On the 3 y'all, we gonna let these balloons fly high for our baby boy. I got you, son. No weapon formed against you gonna prosper, baby. Until we meet again, Rich. I love you, son. I love you, son.